a beach filled with cats and an octopus. It's relaxing, at the same time a disturbing image. Care to explain? Okay, sure. That's life though, isn't it? It's relaxing and disturbing at the same time. I mean, everything has got some sort of fundamental connection to suffering, I guess. And we went on vacation years ago, a couple years back, and I just was so blown away by the fact that I have not treated myself to any sort of self-care at the age of 45 or 44 at that point, that it had a profound effect on me. And I started recognizing that in order to make music that is going to make other people feel something hopefully beautiful, and hopefully even with empath, it goes to something that's really traumatic and then resolves to something beautiful and then goes to something silly. If you're going to be able to do that with any sort of emotional authenticity, you've got to be able to treat yourself in a way that has respect. And I think that in the past I've been guilty of such low self-opinion that I have never allowed myself to take a break. I've never allowed myself to recognize that, man, you're tired. And there's a certain amount of social interaction that I really find taxing. And so the past year, not only with the transition into what I'm doing now and what I'm continuing to do in the record, but there was also a lot of work that I put into how do you train yourself to protect yourself from the intensity of life. Because if you're always like open, if you're always, as a person, just willing to accept all the energy that comes in, you're just going to be destroyed by the end of it. So I spent a lot of time this year learning to, okay, well, how do you defend yourself from the intensity of people, the intensity of life, the intensity of the news and war and horror and all this, yet still trying to be present enough that you can be who you are. And going on vacation was just an epiphany for me, because I realized, I'm like, well, this really helps. I'm exhausted. And now even, I know that I have to promote the work, because it's a really important record to me for people to understand, because it is a very strange album, and I don't want it to be misinterpreted as just being like a random string of thoughts. So yeah, the beach and the octopus. You know what, I spend so much time trying to rationalize stuff that I'm just like, fuck it, I just put a beach on there, it's great. What should we, put an octopus in there too. What would be funny? Cats. Put cats on there. You know, and it's like, one of the weirdest things about being a professional musician is that you're interviewed all the time. I remember doing just a heap of mushrooms when I was like 24, and then doing this interview that I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I read it back and I'm just like, oh my God, of course people think you're crazy. Of course people think you're crazy. And then on the cover, you're like dressed like a mad scientist and all these sorts of things. But a lot of times, life is just, in my opinion, just like, why wouldn't you put a beach there? Why wouldn't you put an octopus on the beach? Why wouldn't you put a cat? Because it's funny, right? So I tend to analyze my motivations a lot deeper than I often think my actual depth of personality is. Just sometimes cats and octopus, beach, okay, it's like peanut butter and chocolate. Sister.